to introducing our next speaker. Major General Michael G. Smith, including overseas service in Papua New Guinea, Cambodia, and Timor-Leste. In 1990, he was Director General East Timor before being appointed as the inaugural Deputy Force Commander of the United Nations Transitional Administration in East Timor, 2000 to 2001. Mike is the Chair of the Development Advisory Committee of the Kaleo Indigenous Community Fund, Chair of the Gallipoli Scholarship Fund, a non-executive director of the Institute for Economics and Peace and the Australian Respiratory Council, and a founding member of the Australian Peace and Security Forum. Mike is the former CEO of Auscare, now ActionAid Australia, the founding executive director of the Australian Civil Military Centre, and he has served in the United Nations in senior military and civilian capacities. He's also past national president of the United Nations Association of Australia. And Mike will speak on the critical need for Australia to have a national peace and security strategy. Over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Tilly. Well, good evening, everyone from Ngunnawal land. And I certainly add my respects to our traditional custodians. And I also acknowledge that our tough journey of reconciliation continues. My thanks to you, Tilly, as our co-president for emceeing our inaugural webinar, and also to Andrew, the imposter, for his astute comments in launching the APSF this evening. Now, as one of the founding members of APSF, I have been asked to make some preliminary comments before Anne, Penny and Raina address three specific aspects relevant to the future of our country's peace and security. In the time allotted, I will make just 3 points. My first point is that there is an urgent need for a national peace and security strategy to be developed by Parliament and transparently with the Australian people. And I think that gels pretty much with what Andrew just said to us. National security is the most important responsibility of government and of every parliamentarian. Yet, despite the significant deterioration in security, globally, regionally, and here at home, Australia has not had a national security strategy since 2013. Astonishingly, neither our current nor our former governments have given priority to this. And the government's website on national security is far from comprehensive and, to be honest, it's somewhat embarrassing. The abrogation of parliamentary responsibility, coupled with far-reaching security decisions taken in secret by successive governments, has compelled us to form the APSF. The APSF is apolitical, comprised of eminent and knowledgeable people, and we seek to work with all parliamentarians and the bureaucracy to assist in determining a national peace and security strategy for our nation's future. And the APSF can help by providing a platform for Australians to have their say. Our AUKUS allies, and indeed all Five Eyes countries, except Australia, have a national security strategy. Many other countries also have such declaratory and unclassified documents to clearly highlight and demonstrate their national priorities for peace and security. So, despite the numerous remarks on national security made by our politicians, Australia lacks a strategy to reassure their constituents. My second point is that assuring national security, peace and security is certainly a complex task, requiring a comprehensive approach and trade-offs to ensure our national resilience. On our website, the APSF has already posted a range of papers that highlight the breadth and the interconnectedness of these national security issues, and we will continue to add to these and to encourage submissions. Amongst those is a discussion paper which Andrew highlighted, which has the various pillars of national security, of which the military pillar is but one and arguably not the most important. We emphasise including the word peace in Australia's national security strategy so that we remain focused on the outcome of our endeavours. Now, unfortunately, most political and media commentary on national security has focused on the military and defence pillar, claiming to deter threats at exorbitant real and opportunity cost. Yet the threat to be deterred, which is in fact China, is not an existential threat to Australia, unless we make it so. This could be an incredible home goal for us. Increasingly, the word defence is used synonymously with the words national security, and there are an increasing number of advisors and organisations who have linked both these in their titles and their programs. My apologies for my puppy dog barking in the background. At the same time, our alliance with the United States has gone beyond its original intention and needs serious recalibration. Critical decisions on nuclear-powered submarines and on US basing rights in Australia have been taken without genuine consultation with the Australian people and without due respect for our near neighbours. In my view, these decisions seriously risk jeopardising our security, surrendering our sovereignty, restricting our independence of action, and unbalancing our defence forces. My third point is that in developing a comprehensive national peace and security strategy, we should seriously consider the relevance of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, to which Australia is a signatory. All 17 goals have relevance to a peace and national security strategy for Australia. And indeed, it saddens me that too few Australians even know about them. It is clear that successive Australian governments have not promoted these goals domestically, primarily preferring to assign them to our aid and development program. Finally, while it is difficult to be optimistic in the current geopolitical climate, we should at least remain hopeful in our quest for a comprehensive national peace and security strategy. As Margaret Mead reminds us, quote, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." And for the APSF, that would be democracy at work. Please consider, for those listening tonight or joining us tonight, please consider supporting and even donating to the APSF. Over to you, Tilly.
Great, thank you, Mike. I think it's really clear to see how much there already is that we can start thinking about from the sort of national security and defence kind of commentary and directions that may need to take, but how that's just one of many pillars and how the SDGs tie into these different pillars of security. There's a lot to be thinking about when we talk about this idea of pursuing a comprehensive national peace and security strategy and why that's really necessary.